Hi Anna, this is my textual rhetorical analysis. This presentation was made in Canva and I'm going to talk to you about the article I chose, which was How to be a Woman in Tehran. The title I designate for this assignment is Fighting for Change in Women's Life because of all the things the author had to live in order to make a difference for women in Iran, and why not for women all over the world. First is my thesis statement. How to be a woman in Tehran is an article that was published by Guernica on March 16, 2015. This article was authored by Habib Gifrain and was translated from the Persian by Salar Abdo. The article manifests the lifestyle of women in Tehran and how the author struggles and fights for change. Through the use of repetition, a well-thought-out hook, and asterisks that serve to organize your story, this ethical article targets readers from Iran and Guernica's worldwide audience. Here are some pictures that belong to the same photographer of the picture that is included in the article. She is Shadi Gadirian and they belong to the cohort series from 1998, which is exhibited in Los Angeles Country Museum of Art. The rhetorical situation or rhetorical triangle of this article has Habib Gifrain as a communicator. Habib is an Iranian writer who lives and works in Tehran. She is also the author of several award-winning biographies which are written in Persian. That's why we can assume that the audience are men and women from Iran and also people all over the world. The context here is Iran in 2015. Here, Iranian women start fighting for freedom. The main character is Masih Alienach, an Iranian journalist and blogger who used all the tools she had to protest the compulsory hijab. In that year, she launched an online campaign called My Stealthy Freedom, encouraging women to publish pictures of themselves without their headscarf or their famous hijab. It had a big impact in women's lives and it became a global movement. In December of the same year, more than 35 protesters were arrested in Tehran. The reaction from the government was severe, so the police have stated that any woman that participated in demonstrations against the compulsory hijab could face upon 10 years in prison. The messages this text transmits are two. First is the notorious division between men and women, because all the injustice they lived, and also the fight they have to change the situation they have lived through the years. Strategy number one is repetition. The appeal here is pathos and logos. Through repetition, the author repeats, I was afraid and I fear for you, Habib, to convey and evoke emotions in her readers by telling them every moment of her life when she and her loved ones felt she was in danger. Here are some examples of the things that I'm saying. This strategy makes you feel what Habibi was feeling. All the fear starts reaching you, and at a certain point, you start comparing the situation that Habibi lived with the ones you have lived. For example, as a girl, I can say that here in Ecuador, I have been told, do not go outside alone, be careful of how you dress, and all the things like that. So that's why I can relate with the feeling Habib had. The second strategy appeals to pathos and logos. It is a hook. Through the use of contradictory sentences, a place where women are in every measure equal to men and every measure not, the author hugs the readers by producing in them a sense of mystery and confusing them at the same time. This strategy makes readers feel intrigued because of the contradiction. They do not know what to expect with this story, and they start wondering why are women so alike but so different from men at the same time, if they are capable of the same things. Habibi starts explaining all the reasons she had to say this, but at the end, we understand that in a place like Iran, women are not equal to men. The third strategy appeals to logos. It is asterisks. Through the use of asterisks to develop a jump-in-time effect in the organization of the article by revealing the reader's specific situation that she has lived during the years. Here, Habibi used asterisks, or these symbols, to allow her to jump from one experience to another. For example, she talks about the time she visited a government office and she was judged by another woman because of her improper hijab. Also, the time she wanted to smoke in a cafe with her friend and they were told that ladies were not allowed to smoke in there. The time a woman says she has been with her husband, and another bunch of stories. These asterisks serve to summarize the things she lived and put an end in them when necessary. The ethics of how to be a woman in Tehran are that first, the text purpose is fulfilled. Habib wants to tell how is the lifestyle of women in Tehran, and she starts telling their own experience. So that's why the purpose is fulfilled. It is an emotional story because our experiences from Habibi that transmit emotions like fear or sadness that we as girls have lived in our own country, and also it shows the shocking reality that women live. A country like Iran makes women feel oppressed and judge them by the way they dress, if they use a hijab or they use a chador. So this is a really impact story. The outside source I chose is an article from the University of Arizona. It is called Muslim Woman and Veil. What does it signify? It is written by Sidi Huwaray, which explains what veil signifies. It also talks about how common people like us, which do not belong to that culture, in which women need to use different types of veil, judge them. The act of veiling has existed even before the existence of Islam. The veil signifies modesty and obedience. In many religions, it is seen as a symbol of reverence for women to cover their heads. People, especially in the West, tend to see it as a symbol of oppression. Since hijab is mandated on women in Iran, they do not have the freedom to choose whether to wear it or not. But also, women have seen the veil as a symbol of resistance towards Western hegemony. This resistance is especially strong in refusing the Western way in objecting women's bodies for their looks and appearance through the fashion industry. That's why I think this outside source complements the things Habibi talks about. It has different points of view, if it is good or it is not, but we really cannot tell the truth about this because we do not belong to this complicated culture. These are my works cited and I hope you have enjoyed my presentation. Bye, Anna.